So I told the story about washing hands and the speaker I idolized. It's not the next speaker. You're okay. It's not him. But let me tell you who he is. Simone Vincenzi. I need the clicker. Where's the clicker? Yeah, I love that. Love that he threw it to me when my glasses were up. It's like my career comes crashing down. Here we go. Simone Vincenzi is a multi-award winning serial entrepreneur and author who has helped more than 2,000 entrepreneurs launch profitable businesses. Nominated as one of the most influential migrant entrepreneurs in the House of Parliament, he writes for Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, and regular features on TV and radio, talking about how experts can become authorities in their field. He spoke at conferences featuring Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, Simon Sinek, you lot. I'm busy introducing here. Thank you. Only joking. Come on. Where was I? John C. Maxwell, Dr. John DeMartini, and many more brilliant minds in the entrepreneurial field. He specializes in helping speakers sell more books, products and services with high-converting webinars and strategic partnerships. Today he's going to share how you can grow your speaking business and get more gigs with strategic partnerships. Please welcome the Italian stallion of the speaking industry, Simone Vincenzi!
Thank you. Man, I love basketball. Big part of my life. And there are a few reasons why I love basketball. In particular, because it's a team sport. And I think that business is a team sport. However, there is a problem with speaking, that most of the time, speaking can feel quite lonely. It's me and the stage, trying to do everything on my own. And so what I want to do today is to get you to think more on a team level. How can you get a team together of partners that can help you grow your business? So for example, if I want to, let's say that there is a basket there. I got Ben with a beautiful basket at the back that you can see. All right. If I were to shoot this ball from here and try to get that ball in that basket, how easy would that be? I get sued for health and safety. In fact, I got a different one. Ball, please. There we go. If I were to throw this one in that basket, how easy would it be? Quite hard, right? But if I were to say, what is a way in which you can get the ball in that basket without standing up? Without standing up. So I'm going to throw the ball to you. And without standing up, now we got to make a basket. So what do? Without standing up and making it as easy as possible. What will we do? The basket is there. All right, there you go. Oh! Hey! Great job, great job. Was it easier or harder in this way? Was much easier, right? So instead of trying an impossible shot, I made my life easier for myself. And this is my big message to you today. Prospect for partners as much as you prospect for clients or for speaking engagements. Prospect for partners as much as you prospect for clients or for speaking engagements. Now repeat it all together. Prospect for partners as much as you prospect for clients or speaking engagement. Rolls off the tongue, right? So easy to repeat. Now, what are strategic partnerships? What are really strategic partnerships? I love to use some different metaphors when talking about this. If we want to get a speaking gig, or maybe you want to sell more products, more services, more books, there are different ways. The first one is let's try to dance with everyone and someone will come home with me way. Have you ever been to a club and there was always that creepy dude that was trying to dance with everyone and maybe one person is going to say yes. That is one way, right? So, and this is the same of the speaker who says, can you hire me? 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 Someone is going to say yes. Eventually, you just don't know who is going to say yes. The second one is the Tinder approach. Lovelda talked earlier about sending 1,000 messages and emails. I'm going to send messages to everyone. Someone is going to say yes. That's the Tinder approach. And then you have the other approach. Let's say you want to, you are there on the dating market, you're looking for a partner, and a friend that you know says, hey, I got my friend Johnny here. He's not that bad. You might want to meet him. Will you be more open or closed in terms of meeting him, right? Probably more open, but why is that? Why is that? Because you trust your brand. There is the word trust, right? Trust is the first currency that we have in business. And so if we are able to borrow that trust from someone else that already has it, now we are making our life much easier for ourselves when we want to sell our product, services, or get speaking engagements. So what I want to do now is to give you some examples of how I've used strategic partnerships over the year so that you can think about how does it apply to you? How can it apply to your scenario? And one, for example, was at the beginning of my journey. I was 23 when I started my speaking career, and I wanted to run an event company. Yes. And as you can see, I was there in Trafalgar Square with an A3 sheet of paper said interested into personal development. That didn't work that well. In fact, we ran our first event in an organic farm called Hackney City Farm. Anyone been there? It's beautiful. It's an organic farm in Hackney, in a room called the straw bale room. It's made with straw bale. Where pigs around, smell of everywhere. It's a perfect place for an event. And I remember marketing this event for 4 months. We're going to have someone here. We did all our thing in Trafalgar Square with a banner. We opened the doors. We had 4 people. 2 were the speakers. One was my business partner's father, and the other person was someone which we chained at the chair and said, no, you're not moving from here right now. Now, we ended up building that company over the years, running more than 1,000 events, and it's at the stretch, we are running over 100 events a year. How did we do that? We found other speakers that we partner up with. So as an event organizer, I was partnering up with the speakers, and they were bringing their contacts, and little by little, we end up growing this company. So what I want you to think is, who are speakers in your network that you could connect with that could potentially bring you what you're looking for? Now, we're going to look later at what are the criteria of creating strategic partnerships. So I'm going to give you some criteria, but what I want you to think is, who are the speakers that you need to build relationships with that can now open doors for you? Now, another way which I use strategic partnership is speaking at other people's events. Now, of course, I was running my events, and I said, no, I want now to be the person on the main stage with the other people, and I don't want to be an event organizer anymore, or I want to add this arm to my business. So what I started thinking is, who has access to those people? Now, I remember that there was one gig that completely changed my career and my life. I was 26 at the time, and it was in a speaking engagement with Les Brown, really famous motivational speaker from the US, in front of 1,000 people. How did I get that gig? I was nowhere near to be qualified to be on that stage. I was running my event business for about 3 years. Very few people really knew me, so I ended up there. I contacted the event organizer and I said, hey, I see you're running an event and you're bringing Les Brown in London. I'd love to be part of it. How can I help you? If there is one thing that event organizers need, it's help. Anyone here run an event before? Try to organize your own so you're wearing the scars, right? You know what it's like. So if you want to get access to an event, one of the best ways that you can do is say, hey, to an event organizer, how can I help you out? Now, I didn't come in with any agenda to be on that stage. I had the background of running my events. I said, well, I can help you out. I got people that I know. I brought some of my clients and some of the people that were helping us out to crew at their event. And one day, I received a call. It was her. And she said, Simone, I'm too overwhelmed right now. Would you mind being the main host of the event because I cannot handle everything? 1 second. Of course. And that gig launched my speaking career. So what I want you to think is, if there is some events that you want to have access to, what can you do for the event organizers? What skills can you bring to the table that you already have that can make the life of an event organizer easier, so now you have the foot in the door, and then the speaking gig can come, or a recommendation can come. So that's another way in which you can use strategic partnerships. Then I wanted to sell my courses and trainings. I wanted to have my own training company. I wanted to sell courses. I want to sell memberships. And so I started thinking, who can I partner up with? Who has my audience? Who has my clients? Who's already built a relationship with them? So I started figuring out other communities that I could partner up with, where I would go there, deliver my presentation, and sell my product and services. Now, that happened to be one of the biggest payday that I had in my life, actually. In my speaking career, I made more than £150,000 in one single day. That's because they put me in front of the audience, I had the product and services, and I was able to sell it to them. Their audience then became my audience. Their clients became my clients. So if you're selling product or services, what I want you to start thinking is, who has your clients? Who has already access to the people that you want to get access to? Because building an audience, building a list, anyone has tried it? Is that easy? No, it takes a long time or a lot of money unless you do paid advertisement. So you can borrow that trust. So start thinking, who has my audience? Who has my clients? Then I had another goal. I got a lot of goals. A bit of one of these people is an overachiever, never happy and never satisfied and needs a lot of therapy anyway because something happened in the childhood. That's me, right? And the other goal that I had was to get featured on media and publications. I said, well, I need to raise my profile. I need to get known in the industry. And definitely media and publication is one of the ways. So I started thinking, who has access to journalists? I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any connections to editors, journalists, interviewers, podcasters. So I started thinking, who has my audience? So what I started doing was to go on Forbes. If you go on the website, then you can filter for your topic. So I went on Forbes and I started filtering for sales, because at that moment I was teaching selling. So I was looking at who are the speakers and who are the authors or who are the contributors that are already writing about selling. I started building relationships with them. I said, hey, I would love to interview you on my podcast. Why don't you come on the show? Now, that opened up a door and a relationship. Some of these podcasts or some of these doors, they actually never opened. Nothing really happened. But it was one. Sometimes we only need one, don't we? Sometimes just one. I said, well, I love your take, to hear your take on entrepreneurship from an Italian perspective, because now you're living here in the UK and it was at the period of Brexit. Right? So I want to hear a different point of view. So that was my first feature on Forbes. Once I had a foot in the door, now I could connect with the editor and end up being an official contributor for Forbes. That led to Entrepreneur Magazine and other publications. So start thinking, who else writes about the topic that you want to talk about? What can you do to build the relationships with them? Maybe you can give them a shout out on social media. You don't need to have a podcast. It's something simple that you can do to show that you are paying attention to them. Maybe nothing is going to happen. Maybe one door. Just one small door will open. And that's all we need, because the next opportunity will follow. And then I had another goal. Surviving. Surviving COVID. Now, COVID was a really dark period for me. Different reasons. One, as a speaker, like many of us here, there were no more in-person gigs. Two, as an event organizer, I couldn't organize my own events anymore. We are making about £300,000 a year just running our own events. So that, gone. And because the universe sometimes want to test our patience' great resilience and faith, let's call it the way we want, Then also my Facebook account got hacked. Now, at that point, we were making about £200,000 just organically for my Facebook account, because they were all people that came to the events that we have built over 10 years. And having lost almost everything, after I cried for a few days, and Lovelda was an incredible support. By the way, we have the same surname. Okay, this is my wife. They're sisters. How didn't you spot that? This is my I love it. Lovelda was an incredible rock for me. I wouldn't have been able to go through the time in my life without her. She showed up every single day. And we started thinking, okay, what can I do? Who can I partner up with? Who has my audience? And that's where we moved into the line space with webinars and started running online presentations with the same principles. And so what I want you to think consistently is who has my audience? Who has my audience? Because if you are going to networking events, what's happening? You're always meeting people, and the majority of them will not be your ideal clients, will not be the people that hire you, will not be the people that book you, will not be the people that buy from you, will not be the people that even care about you. However, they might be the people that can open a small door. And a small door becomes a bigger door, and it becomes a bigger door, it becomes a bigger door, it becomes a... and becomes a bigger door. Exactly. So strategic partnership is a game changer. Strategic partnership is a game changer. So the goal here that I want you to have is 6 partnerships. That's all we need. 6 great, did I say great partnerships? Because not all partnerships are created equal. Have you ever been on a bad date? Yeah. Have you ever been on great dates? Yeah. Right? They're very different. So you will date some really bad partners, and you will date some incredible partners. Your goal is to find the people that you connect with the most. And how do you find them? What is the checklist that you need to bear in mind? First of all, is there are people that have the same values. Value alignment is the most important thing when you're creating strategic partnerships. Because remember, their connections, they are going to become your connections. So if you don't like them, very likely you will not like the people that they are connected to. Having the wrong partnership actually can really be damaging to your business, your brand, the reputation, because it's all about association, right? So first of all, start thinking, what are my values? Who am I? What do I stand for? How do I like to run business? What's my philosophy? And that's the first step. Then the second step, after you're clear on that and you can see that alignment in that person, organization, company, then we are going with the same audience. Do they have access to the audience that I'm looking for? Is that an audience of event planners? Is that an audience of speaker booker? Is it an audience of people that can buy directly my product, services, that can hire me in their organization? Because that's the next step. And then finally, the third one is a complementary offer. Do they have a complementary offer? Do they sell something different that you sell? Because otherwise it's not a partnership, it's 2 people competing for the same audience. So you don't want to create competition, you want to create collaborations and relevant collaborations. So same value, same audience, a complementary offer. Now, how do we find out complementary offers? This is a list of questions that after the break you will be given, after lunch you will be given a little surprise, and there are some resources in there. So the question that you will see heard in a moment, they will also be in that gift that we have for you. So if I'm going a bit quick, remember that you have them there. So the first question is, what values are core to your business? We already identified that. What are the values that are core to your business? The second one is, what type of clients are you trying to reach? What type of people are you trying to reach? And then we start thinking about services. Okay, if I'm thinking about your ideal clients or the people that you're trying to reach, what other services do your ideal clients purchase before or after yours? This is a great way to see who can I partner up with, because if my ideal clients buy this kind of services, they might be interested in mine too. The next one is thinking about similar interests. What general interests do your ideal clients have? Maybe they're interested in outdoor sports. Maybe they're interested in food. How can you align yourself with their interests? Then location. Which location are my ideal clients based? Can I be present where they are, online and offline? And then finally, products. What physical products do they buy? What physical products do they buy? Actually, they've got another one, which is technology. What other technologies do they use? So remember, all these questions are going to be also provided to you in a beautiful leaflet and flyer that you can check them later. Now, I said that one of my biggest passion is basketball. Now, I played in the third division here in the UK at a semi-professional level. It's a professional, semi-third division, good level, bottom of the bench, worst player in the team, but I was there. And there is a big difference between amateurs and professional. There's a big difference. Someone can be a great amateur, but not a great professional. Why do you think I was in that team? One, I was already 31 years old when I joined that team. Two, yeah, no, God didn't give me with that one. I'm not that tall. What do you think I can do on the court? Move, communicate. They didn't have me there really for my basketball skills. They were players that were way better than me. But what I could bring to the table is to bring the team together. So if you're thinking about what can you bring to the table? What is the unique thing that you can bring to the table? What is the unique thing that is you that can open that door with that potential partner? Because everyone will have something unique that they can put forward. And this is my final message that I said, prospect for partners as much as you prospect for clients. Now, before I leave, there is always two things that I do in my presentations. One, I sell something. And two, I raise money for charity. I always do these two things. So as I mentioned, I support this basketball team, which is the London Thunder's basketball club. They do an incredible work to take kids out of East London, to give them a place where they can do their homework, learn basketball skills, and I would love to raise some money for them. Is that okay? Awesome. So I've created the Ultimate Partnership Toolkit, which is going to be released on the 1st of September. So at the moment we are creating it. And what you will have by having it is this. You have a strategic partnership contract template, which is worth $1 million. Because of course, when you're selling something, you need to overinflate the price, right? So it's worth $1 million. You have the contract templates that you will have. Then you have find strategic partnership with AI, worth another $1 million. Mind-blowing, right? Then you have the guide on how to start with strategic partnership, worth another $1 million, which goes with the strategic partnership tracking sheet, worth another $1 million, a strategic partnership on autopilot through LinkedIn automation, worth another $1 million, and finally, a one-to-one session on brainstorming strategic partnership with me, worth $100 million. So instead of paying $105 million, which is already a steal of a deal, it's only $29.99. Here's what I want you to do, though, because of course we need action, and I want to raise as much money as possible. So there is this QR code. I want to take your phone out and scan this QR code right now. It will direct you to a page for a pre-sale. You will pay the $29.99. I'm going to donate the full amount to the London Thunder's basketball club, helping those kids. Then I can support you, help you out with your strategic partnerships. Because, thank you. Because remember, prospect for partners as much as you prospect for clients and for gigs. Thank you very much.